So good morning. We're sitting at about 10:35 in the morning, and so I am actually headed out to Market Villa, the central place that everybody kind of goes to. And so as you can see, I've gotten fairly comfortable with driving here. And so today or this morning, just a couple of thoughts. So we actually got here 1st of January. And so January, February, March, April. So we're almost 3 months in, and just some thoughts in general. So the people here, as we experienced during our scouting trip and all research, the top people are super warm and caring people. And even though we haven't learned, let's say, conversational Thai yet, when we try here and there, they're pretty gracious and they're patient with us. So the one big thing I can take away from being here 3 months is we're going to have to learn some conversational Thai. Google Translate is good, but I think it only can get you so far. So unlike Doha, with it being such an international city and catering to such an international expat community and immigrant community, there was a lot of quite a bit of English spoken there. So really didn't have to learn Arabic. Just a few instances where it would have been good, but didn't have to. Here, we're going to have to at least be conversational. So that's thought one. So thought two is the driving. You may see a little bit on this video. It's still kind of chaotic. It is super defensive driving. Doha helped me because Doha was super defensive too, because over there they were more aggressive. They didn't use indicators. Here, the motorcycles and the scooters, they can be pretty aggressive, but it's the busyness. Driving in an environment where you just have so many motorbikes, and I can't even get used to the fact that I'm still seeing anywhere from 3, as many as 4. I think we may have actually seen 5 people on a motorbike. So, and especially when you see the families and you see the little kids, and unfortunately, I guess because of the price, many people over here still don't have helmets. So that's kind of frightening, but this is the way they've been doing it. They've been doing it for a long time. But you just hate to see it when you see the kids that are riding around and they have no helmets. But anyway, so the driving, like I said, I'm getting used to, but you always got to be on your P's and Q's, as we say in the U.S., on your toes, because it's kind of chaotic, busy, and there's always somebody that's making some kind of drive move, and you can't figure out what's going on, so you gotta pay attention, and constantly just watch out for the bikes. Like I said, they're all looking. So let's see, point 3, food-wise, it is extremely low cost in terms of food. We haven't narrowed down our monthly budget yet. I think the month of May will start to really be able to track, and once we have a full month of May, we can really tell you what the costs are for living here. I think it will track around $2,500 to $3,000 being because we haven't quite got the spending done. So here, good example, a couple nights ago, we went out with some friends, so it's 4 of us, and we just have all this food, the fried fish, I think we had chicken, all kinds of vegetables, a couple different entrees and a couple beers, coconut water, just a lot of food, and it never is more than $60 USA. So I know you can't eat seafood and eat that magnitude of food in the US for that price. And then here last night, my wife and I stopped at a local street market, and we got some sea bass, cooked to order sea bass with some type of vegetables, and we also had shrimp and asparagus, and I think that was less than 200 baht. So 200 baht is $6 or so, and we had shrimp fried rice that we'd actually gotten from 7-Eleven, which is shrimp fried rice from 7-Eleven, is just a little more lower. And so let's say that rice was 70 baht, and maybe a little bit cheaper than that. But let's just say with the rice, and I had corn. So the corn, we shared a corn cob, and you get them over here, they're kind of packaged in plastic, and you can microwave them, and the corn's really good. So let's just say 300 baht. So for $9, we were able to eat dinner for both of us. So that's why a lot of times over here, you hear expats say that they just eat out. They don't cook at home because it's so cheap. But anyway, so on the budgeting side, one of the things we're learning to do is not overly compare with U.S. prices or Doha prices, because when you do that too much, you become okay with spending large amounts over here because it's cheap relative to U.S. or Doha. But the goal is for us to base everything off Thai prices. So for instance, we're going to go to an event this weekend. Someone we met over here, expat. She's a singer and she's doing a concert. And so they are sort of have I guess you see 3 or 4 course meal, and I think with wine it's $6 a person. So that's 2,000 baht. So I mentioned to you earlier that 2,000 baht gets 4 people, seafood, all kinds of dishes, a couple of beers, maybe mixed drinks. So for this event, we're spending that per person. So special event, kind of stuff you can do here and there, but you won't do that too often, because if you compare it to the U.S., you'll say, wow, $60, 4-course, 5-course meal, wine, that's great per person. But in Thailand or Wahin, $60, you can feed 4 people on seafood, and we got food left over. So that's just an example of, overdoing it with comparing Thai prices to U.S. or Doha prices. The goal here is to settle down into Thailand or Wahin prices, and that's going to make our budget, work much better. So let's see, what else we want to talk about. So the other thing is the heat. The heat here is just on a whole different level. Doha was hot, it was dry heat, and it got as high as 125, 127, which I think is about 50 degrees Celsius. But over here, we're kind of in a drought, and also we're two hottest months, April and then May, and so we've been sitting at 92, 93 during the day, and then you got the humidity here, and at night, even where we live, there's a nice breeze coming off the ocean or between the mountains. But when I walk the dog, I'm still sweating because the humidity is like 75%. So we're, I'm getting used to the heat much better than Camille, and that's because I kind of work out in it, and I'm out in it more than she is. It's a bit of a struggle for her, and so hopefully, she'll get more dialed in on the heat as the rest of this month and maybe the month of May, or at least start to get some relief in June and July. So yeah, the heat is a whole different level. We've been told, or I've read and researched that. Oh, by the way, so I'm here at Market Village and getting ready to park in the garage. We've been told it can take 3 to 6 months to acclimate, and so maybe she's on the 6-month program, and I think I'm more on the 3 or 4 month. But yeah, so those are the things. Cost of living, especially with food. Oh, by the way, we got our first big utility bill, and that's burning a lot of air conditioning because of the heat. And it was 4,700 baht, so I think it's maybe $125–130. That's pretty good because in Doha, during the extreme weather, we were probably up to $350–400 a month. And I'm not sure what you guys are paying in the U.S., but I would imagine during the extreme summer months and in the cold months, you guys have a pretty healthy utility bill. And that's about it for now. So stay tuned for more videos. Expat life in Hua Hin, Thailand. Please like, share, follow, and look forward to sharing you more about our expat life. Thanks.